I've had 2 procedures and been very pleased with the amount of hair, the growth that I have. And today I'm going to have another procedure to get fuller and more hair. And I'm going to let them film it so that you can see, that people can see that it's an easy process, painless process, and it's a very interesting process. I think people will be very interested in seeing how it's done. So, here we go. When I told a friend that I was going to do this film, she said, well, aren't you going to be embarrassed to have your friends see it? And I said, absolutely not, because if it helps any woman who's had the problem I've had with baldness, if it helps them to make a decision to do something about it, it's very miserable for a woman to be bald. I'm sure it's very bad for men, but it's really bad for women. That's our thing, is our hair. I really started worrying about losing my hair when I was in my 20s because my mother and her sisters were losing theirs. They had a condition called female pattern baldness, and I just dreaded that the same thing would happen to me. And then my best friend, of course, knew how I struggled with this, and she called me one day and said that she had just found out that one of her other friends had had a hair transplant procedure in Alabama. And he told me how happy he was and how great Latham's had been. I saw him and saw that his hair looked really good. So I made the call and I talked to Paul, and he told me about the procedure, how it's done, and made an appointment to come down here. It was the best thing that I ever did. And on the way down here, my husband drove me, and I told him, thank you so much. This is the best gift you've ever given me, because this is something that has hung over my head since I was 20 years old, and it's only getting worse. I came in, they put me in the chair, they turned on the TV, and they did their work, and didn't hurt at all, which amazed me. It was over in no time. I had a second procedure. Then that grew out, and more hair, and it's been wonderful. It's been absolutely wonderful. It's not an unpleasant procedure. It's an easy procedure, and I wish that I'd known about it a long time ago. I hope that seeing this makes some other women who are having this problem realize that it's a very easy procedure and that it's so worthwhile. You really do get your self-esteem back, and as we all know, for women, our hair is very important, and it makes a huge difference. It's so worth doing, and I hope that this will help somebody to decide to do this. And Latham's is a great place to come. I wouldn't drive 3 hours from Atlanta if it were not, and I've recommended it to several people, and they've all been very happy with the treatment and the procedures and their outcome. And that's the most important thing, is the outcome, and the outcome is really, really good.